of a killing machine with a need to bleed you when the light goes green. Best believe I'm in the zone to be. From a yin to my yang to Z. Put a grin on my chin when you come to me. Cause I'm weird, I'm a one of a kind, and I'll bring death to the place you're about to be. Another river of blood running under my feet. Forged in the fire lit long ago. Stand next to me, you'll never stand alone.
Hello ladies and gentlemen! Welcome to another Gas Mask Tips for Beginners. And, well, we talked about how to know what size you are. We talked about buying the mask. And now today, you've gotten your mask. You've cleaned your mask, because obviously it's pretty damn obvious you need to clean it. By the way, I need to move you guys, because good lord, that glare from the concrete is just, oh, so horrible. Anyway, so, you got your mask. But you don't know a lot about filters. Well, don't worry, I know everything I can, thanks to Weapons and Stuff, thanks to John the Collector, and thanks to the rest of the gas mask community. What the hell am I talking in this Cockney accent? I don't know. Okay, here we go. So, before we even get into the gas masks into the filters themselves, we need to talk about sizes. On my right hand, my right, your left, is a 60mm filter. On my left, your right, is a 40mm GOST filter. Yes, GOST, not G-O-S-T, just simply call it a GOST. In this whole video, we are talking about storage, safety, and of course what to do if you get, the wrong kind of filter. Anyway, now, before we get into it, we need to talk threading, as well as the proper way to keep your filters stored safely. If you're going to not use the filter, make sure to keep the butt plug on there and the top plug on there. That way, no moisture can get in there, no dust can get in there, nothing can get in the damn filter. Not only that, but a filter has a shelf life of roughly 8 to 10 years, depending. Now, I'm not a big expert on it. No, not everyone in the community is a big expert on the filters because, let's face it. Now, this one was made in '87. This is a MC1 filter. Not gonna wear it. Not gonna use it. Don't care unless you can provide definitive, scientific, laboratory proof that says this filter is safe. I will not use it. And even then, this filter, if it had no asbestos in it, would only be good for tear gas and smoke, and the occasional farts, and/or Chipotle night. Ugh. Sorry, I just had a bad memory from college. Anyway, getting away from that memory. No, don't ask. What you want to do is you want to remove the top and the bottom. Bada bing, your filter's able to use. Now, here's the thing, and this came from the 60mm, which I'm going to grab here. Removing, of course, the bottom. Wait, that makes it... Just listen. Hold on, let me put that on there. That makes it... That sound, that's nice. Now, I will get into the filter itself, but this is something you're going to want to deal with. Some filters, thankfully enough, this one's actually doing a lot better, the lids will be hard to get off and on, and they will cause some rubbing and some scuffing from the actual threading itself. So what you're going to want to do for that is you're going to want to do what I'm about to do. Get a paper towel, and simply clean around the thread itself on both the lid. Ooh, that's a lot of metal shavings. And the canister itself. Inside and out, thank you very much. Go ahead and fold that in right there. Go ahead and just do this. Ooh, that actually hurt a little bit because my finger was on the actual thing there. Okay, there we go. If you can't see it, that's metal shavings right there. That's metal, basically, from the actual rim itself. There we go. We'll just clean the inside as well, just for good measure. Nothing on the inside, just the outside, so that's a good sign. Here's the two parts. This was inside, this was outside. If there is no metal on the inside, which I'm not seeing any, that's actually a good sign, and there is on the inside, then we're good. Now, another thing is you want to... That's just dust. Okay, yeah, it's just dusty. That's all it is. You want to get a piece of paper and or paper towel and take your filter and just start beating the shit out of it on top of it. Why? Make sure the son of a bitch ain't compromised, because if it's compromised, then definitely don't use it. And I know what you're thinking. Well, now, if asbestos is really bad, what about the activated charcoal? Have you ever seen black lung? Have you ever seen the effects it has? Have you ever seen autopsy photos of a motherfucker getting cut open and you see nothing but a black slab of meat that was his lung? It ain't pretty. It's really not. I had to look at that shit for college. For my biology class. That shit wasn't pretty. Anyway. Now, there is a key difference between 40mm and 60mm. The obvious difference? The intake. A 60mm, you have much bigger intake for air, as well as a, well, just that. Not only that, but a bigger, supposedly, 60mm is actually better for actual filtration because of the intake. That and you actually get more air into your damn respiratory system. Now, 40mm, much more condensed, but still getting good air flow to your actual lungs. Now, the big difference I want to spot out between a 60mm and a 40mm is the intake. As you can see, the intake on the actual 40mm is a lot bigger than the intake on the 60mm. Methinks there is a contradiction here, but I cannot think of a contradiction, methinks. Now, as stated before, 40mm Gauss and 40mm 40mm NATO. 40mm NATO is more fine than 40mm Gauss. 40mm Gauss is a lot further out. Now, not a lot of people, to my knowledge, still use 60mm filters. However, there's a lot out there still to use. But thankfully enough, for some countries that do have gas masks but don't want to spend the money to make a new 40mm gas mask, there are converters to use 40mm filters, i.e. 40mm NATOs. Basically, all you gotta do is just take this off, pop it on there, boom, done. Which even then, the chromium filter here, which yes, we're gonna get into that in a second, the chromium filter here is only good for tear gas and smoke. Just like this filter, if it had no asbestos. Why? Because there's an expiration date on filters. This particular filter, as I've stated before, and I'd love to get your input in here, has 3 dates on it. Has 3 numbers. 64, 69, 73. I don't know if this was made in 73, 69, or 64. So, you know, there's that. Now, here's the deal. Chromium is a very good filter. A chromium filter is actually really good and does have a good shelf life of beyond chemical paper. And even though a lot of you are going to try and pull up saying, oh, chromium's bad for you, chromium's bad for you, 1 to 2% chance of cancer, and you have to be wearing this damn thing for 40 years to even get that chance. So in order for me to even get a chance of this, doing that, if it wasn't compromised, I'd have to be wearing this, along with the mask, for 40 years! Now, if it was compromised, the chance goes up to 3 to 4% chance. But again, I have to still be wearing it for 40 years! Got it? And I, as well as everyone else, has said this time and time again, do not wear the Warsaw Pack filters. Do you understand? Sorry for grabbing you. I and many others in the community cannot stress that enough. If it ain't the asbestos that's going to get you, it's the charcoal. Because believe me when I say charcoal vapors, they're still as bad. And they're not like the reusable 40mm filters that you can get on the Chinese gas mask, where you can just unscrew the fucking bottom, pour out the charcoal, pour in the charcoal, screw that motherfucker back on top, and pop it right back on you. No. You cannot replace the charcoal in these. If they do have charcoal, mind you. You cannot do that. And if it's compromised or the vapors get through there, then understand now you're going to get a small form of black lung or miner's lung or, God damn it! Do you have any idea the actual health risk? And I'm not even joking here. I am dead serious. I'm going in full-blown serious mode right here. Do you have any idea the actual health risk charcoal has if you actually breathe in the vapors? Do you have any goddamn idea how many people actually die from charcoal-related deaths and poisoning? It ain't pretty. It ain't pretty. Not only that, but if you have a slim chance of actually getting to the hospital, they have to cut you open and actually replace your lung. And God help you if your body actually accepts that donated lung. And God help you if you actually survive the surgery. So for the love of God, to avoid the idea of you being cut open and you having your lung replaced, please, I'm begging you, do not use. I just went somewhere I didn't want to. God damn. Whew, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go off on that tangent. I am so sorry. Whew, happy place, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. Let's go back to happy thoughts. Yay! Now, there are modern ABEC filters that you can get, actually. And yes, I do recommend the chromium. You can get modern 40mm Gauss. You can get modern Russian filters as well as modern Polish filters. And they are known as ABEC. Now, granted, there's a P in there, but the P's silent. Much like in many names for some reason, the vowel's silent. Grammar, methinks. Now, depending on how you want to go with this, I would definitely recommend you get modern, depending on your filter, mind you. Chromium filters are still good. There are still modern C2 filters that are still good and have yet to be expired, to my knowledge and from what I've seen. Not only that, but, in all honesty, you might want to get one of these. I'd go with the Polish, I'd go with the Finnish MC, I'd go with the Finnish M61, because honestly, the Finnish M61 is definitely one that I would definitely recommend as anyone's first gas mask. That son of a bitch is good. Or go with the Chinese TF1, which can accept both NATO and Gauss threaded filters. Not only that, but the PMG actually is really good as well. Thank you, John the Collector, for your video showing off the PMG actually accepting a standard NATO filter. But, either way, besides that, you're probably asking, well, what should I do with my Warsaw Pack filters? Well, one, if you can, get them tested, and if they are asbestos-free, then yay, you're good for that particular year filter. However, it's only good for riot situations and tear gas. And if you don't want to use the filter, how should you store it? Well, in my opinion, put it in a box, then put that box in another box, lock that box in several chains, then put that son of a bitch in a lead-lined box, and then finally throw that son of a bitch in the deepest, darkest hole you can find. However, if you don't want to do that, I do ask that you do donate your filters to a museum. Filters are indeed a part of history and should be actually kept in check and stored properly. However, I do go with the latter and say, throw that son of a bitch in 2 boxes, wrap it up in a chain, throw it in a lead-lined box, and set that son of a bitch in the deepest, darkest hole you could possibly find, and or throw it into the Marianas Trench! Just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. As always, I've been Airsoft Al. And if you guys find my tips helpful and or you think my neurotic self over the idea of people getting surgery is unsettling, please let me know in the comment section down below. Comment section down below. And as always, guys, I've been Airsoft Al. And look forward to the next tips, because in the next tips, we actually talk about how you should properly put on a gas mask. Okay!